Let's just be honest, most of the frustration happening on your team right now is probably a communication problem. Not a talent problem, not a people don't care enough problem, not even a we need to try harder problem. It's unclear communication. And I have learned firsthand, if you don't fix it, you can't scale. If you don't fix it, you and your entire team will be frustrated. Things won't get done, things won't get done right, and your organized team members, well, you might lose them because they will spend more time cleaning up messes that shouldn't exist, and that's not why you hired them. So in this video, I want to walk you through 5 of the biggest communication mistakes that will slow your team down, keep you stuck, and cause immense unnecessary frustration. The first mistake is giving unclear or vague instructions. This is probably the most common one that I see, and it's like this silent momentum killer. Because if people don't know exactly what is expected, what needs to be done, when it's due, or who's doing it, they will either guess or hesitate and do nothing at all. And either way, you end up frustrated that something wasn't done right or missed. If I am assigning a task as a leader, I have to be detailed. I have to be specific. Otherwise, I'm setting someone up to fail, and then I'm getting annoyed with it later. If you're asking someone to do something, be as clear about your expectations as possible. And likewise, if I am the one receiving instruction and something is unclear to me, it is my responsibility to ask questions. It's my responsibility to make sure that I have a clear understanding of expectations. Don't just walk away and do it wrong and then say, well, I didn't really know what she meant. Don't assume, ask. Confusion will always waste time, but clarity will save it. The second mistake is not explaining the end goal. You can't just give someone a task without the why. You have to let people see the big picture. Because when I know the end goal, I can think strategically. I can troubleshoot gaps. I can give better input. I'm not just checking off a box. I'm aiming at something that matters. If you're not explaining the end goal of what you're asking for, don't be surprised when people don't deliver what you actually needed. Put some why behind the task. What is this graphic for? Who is seeing it? Where will they see it? What should the call to action be? Knowing why you are doing something provides clarity and intentionality in the execution. The third mistake, no follow-up, or what I like to call closing the loop. Listen, communication doesn't end when you send the message. I wish it did, but it usually won't. You have to circle back, especially when things are moving fast, because we all get busy. And when we are, we never want something important falling through the cracks. So whether I'm the one that's giving the instruction or receiving it, I am responsible for checking in, asking questions, and closing the loop. If I ask for something and I don't hear back, I need to follow up. Now, it does not mean babysitting your team. If you have a system for communication, which we will talk about, and you properly asked for something or gave an instruction, you shouldn't have to follow up on every single thing you communicate because it was ignored or never seen. That's called hand-holding. And if you're doing it all the time, then you may need to evaluate who is on your team because big visions don't have time for babysitting. You want self-motivated producers on your team. The mistake that I'm talking about here is always assuming that everything you have communicated was taken care of without ever checking back on it. Assumptions like this will cause major issues. This is why I am big on communicating what I complete, especially if it's something that affects somebody else's project. If you ask me to do something for you, when I complete it, I let you know. Whether it's sending TV programs to different stations, uploading YouTube videos, finishing a landing page, adding a link somewhere, sending out a mass email, I communicate what was done so that there's a clear trail for my team. Because you see, there never has to be a, hey, where are we at with this when your team properly communicates. It can be a quick glance. Oh, I see here that we're waiting on this. Or, oh, I see here that she sent this out on Wednesday. That glance is your most efficient follow-up. Closing the loop, accountability, taken care of. Okay, great, what's next? No follow-up equals missed deadlines, unfinished tasks, and people blaming each other for not knowing what happened. Hear me on this. Follow-up does not make you a micromanager. It makes you a good communicator. Okay, mistake number 4 is trying to run everything through one-on-one conversations. I am so big on this. Yes, there's a time and a place for it, but if that is your only method for communication within your team, one-on-one, you've got a problem, and you'll keep having bigger ones. If important information is only being shared in private messages, meetings behind closed doors, or casual hallway conversations, guess what happens? Nobody else knows what the heck is going on. I'm not talking about sensitive information that's not something that everybody needs to know about. I'm talking about information such as information about events, new things that are launching, projects, tasks, things that leadership is asking for, and communication like that. People on your team can't be held accountable for what they never knew, and your leaders can't manage what they can't see. When you communicate as a group, it keeps everyone aligned. In our ministry, we have a team manager over all of the departments, and she can't ensure that everything leadership is asking for is taken care of if their instructions are never communicated anywhere to her. I oversee media, and so if some recording is scheduled that I don't know about, it creates dysfunction and disorganization, and we thought the camera was going to be here used for this, and now they need this set up over here, and so now I need to reschedule this, all because I didn't know. And it's a frustration that is entirely unnecessary. You shouldn't have team meetings that are filled with, I didn't know. He never told me that. I wish I knew that they wanted it like that. That is a major sign that your team communication is not actually happening as a team. It's too much one-on-one. It reminds me of that elementary school game that we would play as kids called telephone. One person in the group makes up this message, and then they whisper it to the person next to them, and then they whisper it to someone else. And then by the time it reaches the last person, it's rarely ever the same message. They say it out loud to the group, and everyone laughs because it's changed so much going from person to person. And yes, that might have been fun in grade school, but in leadership, that's a freaking nightmare. It's chaos. It's redoing things. It's missing things. If you want team unity and momentum, you need communication visibility. Your team cannot move together if everyone is in the dark. Okay, mistake number 5, this is a major one. Not having a system for communication. This one right here, I am telling you, changes everything and essentially provides the solution to the first 4 mistakes. Because it's not enough to just talk to each other more. You need to create a reliable place for communication to live. A place, a system. And if you want to scale, this is not a group text message thread. Without a system for your communication, things will always be messy. Every project will be frustrating. You'll forget what was said or where it was said, lose track of deadlines, and constantly repeat yourself. You'll think someone dropped the ball, but really it was never written down, never confirmed. That's not a people problem, that's a systems problem. If I walk up to one of our graphic designers during Sunday morning setup at church and I ask for this list of graphics that I need for this new online course our pastor just recorded, and then they forget what I asked for, that's on me. That's a terrible time and a terrible way to communicate something important. You need a designated system, a Slack channel, a Trello board, a team meeting with notes, whatever works for your team. Your team should know what to communicate and where to put it. By using a platform like Slack to organize your team communication, it allows you to create a paper trail for accountability and reference for the future. It keeps all of your communication searchable, and it allows team access so that everyone can be in the loop on important information, all organized by topic and project. Slack is such a game changer for how teams can scale their operations, hence why almost every major company uses it. And so maybe I'll do an entire video on how to use Slack in your growing team and how we use it in our church and ministry. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you would benefit from. But overall, don't just expect communication from your team. Create the parameters for it. Where does the information go? Who needs to see it? How do we track it? Because the success of your team depends on organized, visible, searchable, repeatable communication. I hope this helped you today. If your team is constantly frustrated, missing things, or not making progress, don't just tell people to try harder. Fix your communication, clarity, follow-up, visibility, and systems. That is how you move forward faster. And the good news, You don't have to overhaul everything overnight. Just pick one of these 5 areas to improve this week. Start small, clean it up, and then move on to the next. If this helped you, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more practical, high-performance leadership content. Let's build teams that don't just work hard, but work with excellence. And that begins with effective communication.